So, lads, there is a WNBA team that have been very, very, very much in, they made it clear that they want Caitlin Clark, or they're eventually going to want Caitlin Clark. Along those lines, they made it very, very clear.
Well, Stephanie White might have thought she had it all under control with her superstar Caitlin Clark, but karma doesn't miss. Now Clark's facing another groin injury, and those friendly meetings with the New York Liberty? Yeah, they're not looking so harmless anymore. The signs are all there, clear as day.
Clark in the bowels of the Barclays Center with Liberty coach Sandy Brondello and Brianna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu. I'm just having a little fun.
Is Caitlin Clark already starting to mentally check out of Indiana after watching how Stephanie White has managed her injury situation? Let's be brutally honest, White's approach has been anything but reassuring. Her handling of Clark's groin injuries has been rough and uninspired, to say the least. Clark has already missed several games this season, yet White's demeanor has been disturbingly casual, like it's just business as usual when your franchise cornerstone is dealing with recurring injuries and you treat it like a routine setback. That's not just bad optics, it's a serious red flag.
Yeah, I mean, there's a level of physicality that they're able to play with against her. I knew it as an opponent, and I see it as her coach. I'm not exactly sure why, but it just is what it is. And we've got to help her learn to adjust and use it against them in certain ways.
The pattern's been crystal clear from the start. Stephanie White and Caitlin Clark aren't fully aligned when it comes to Clark's role in the offense. White keeps pushing her off the ball, even though Clark has made it clear she thrives when she's in control, especially in transition. But does White take that into account? Of course not. She's too focused on forcing her own system instead of adjusting to the once-in-a-generation talent she has. Clark's already missed 10 games this season, including time for a previous quad injury. 10 games isn't just bad luck, it's a trend. And when asked about Clark's injury status, what does White offer? We went through semi-live shooting drills. She still hasn't gone full speed. That's not exactly a confidence booster, coach.
Specifics of did she have imaging today? Was it just see how she was feeling? And I know you have a game tonight first, but is there any discussion yet about this weekend with her? Because obviously she's a huge part of All-Star.
No discussion yet about this weekend. There was imaging done. Obviously ruling her out for tonight, but there hasn't been any discussion beyond tonight.
The most revealing moment, Caitlin Clark was ruled out for Wednesday night's matchup against the New York Liberty after injuring her right groin in the final minute of Tuesday's 85-77 win over the Connecticut Sun. She was visibly in tears on the bench, and Stephanie White's reaction? Practically a shrug. After the game, White downplayed it, saying Clark felt a little something in her groin. A little something? Your franchise star is in tears, and that's the best you've got? The disconnect is glaring. And here's where it gets even more intriguing. The New York Liberty have been watching this unfold like sharks circling the water. Can you blame them? Liberty CEO Kaya Clark openly acknowledged Caitlin's massive impact on business growth, saying she lit a fire the moment she arrived. They see the value that Stephanie White seems to overlook. Remember when Clark dropped a season-high 32 points and tied her career best with 7 threes in a blowout win over the Liberty? That was peak Clark, healthy, focused, and unleashed. But since then, more injuries, more DNPs, and more head-scratching decisions from White.
We have just seen the New York Liberty players, after the game, meeting up with Caitlin Clark. It is Stewie, it is Sabrina Ionescu, there is Sandy Brondello. And by the way, Stewie is not leaving New York the rest of her career. That is one thing that I will be 99% sure of. The Stewie is not leaving New York. Sabrina is not going to leave New York. I think there is a 50-50 chance Caitlin Clark leaves Indiana after her rookie season.
The Liberty connection isn't just fan speculation, it's grounded in real signs. Caitlin Clark chose New York Liberty guard Sabrina Ionescu with the number 3 pick in the All-Star draft. That wasn't just a basketball move. It was a nod of respect to someone who understands the pressure Clark's under. There's a visible mutual respect between Clark and Liberty players, something she's clearly not feeling with her current coaching staff. Stephanie White's management of Clark's minutes has been head-scratching. White claims she wants 2 primary ball handlers on the floor and says she doesn't want Clark playing under duress for 94 feet. But we're talking about the face of your franchise, the very player who's transformed the league's visibility overnight. and you're worried about overusing her. The philosophical disconnect couldn't be clearer. Clark herself said, "I think we need to do a better job of getting me the ball in transition. That's when I'm the best." That's not a polite suggestion. That's a direct message. Yet White keeps pushing her off the ball, ignoring the clear formula for success. The consequences are piling up. Clark's recent 5-game stretch is the worst of her pro career in both field goal and three-point percentage. Any great coach would adapt the system to help their star recover, not shrug it off and say they're not concerned. And then there's the bigger picture, Clark's future. She's only in year 2, but she's watching. The Liberty aren't just a contender, they're a powerhouse, a $450 million valuation powerhouse. They invest in winning, talent, and vision. The Fever? They've gone 5-5 without Clark and just lost to the Sparks. They lean on her for everything, yet can't seem to keep her healthy or maximize her skill set when she's available. That's not a recipe for long-term success.